Welcome, Aquarius. We don't do Celtic crosses often enough, so we're going to do a Celtic cross. I am going to ask you to close your eyes and silently in your head ask Spirit a question that you would like to see answered in this reading. If you need longer than 7 seconds, just pause the tape and silently in your head ask the question that you'd like to have answered in this Celtic cross. All right, starting right now. Okay, so now you've asked the question. I am going to speed up the tape while I shuffle. So for those of you who are prone to seizures, please close your eyes right now, and I will tell you when it's safe to open your eyes. One moment. All right, you can open them now. And how many more? Soft? 1, great. Okay, so I'll just do this in front of you so you know that I didn't set anything up. All right, so we're just going to take it right off the top here. Issue. Yeah, challenge. Oh, nice. Reading. I'm just going to lay the cards out first, and then I'll interpret everything. Boy, I'm going to ask for clarification for that right now. Okay. Tools. Outside influences, please. Hopes and fears. And the outcome. Oh, nice. I'm going to ask for one more card to clarify the outcome. And how do they get out of the 8 of Swords? Wow. What is that message bringing? Nice. Okay, is that in love or in, oh my goodness, Lord, this is really good. At the bottom of the deck, we have Judgment. All right, I'm just going to pause the tape for a moment. My left ear is ringing right now. So that means that you may not be able to see whatever you're about to see. You may not see evidence of it right now in the 3D, but it's there. Okay, so just give me one moment here. We're going to start with the issue, which is the Wheel of Fortune. All right. By the way, one incredible thing, the issue is the Wheel of Fortune, and the outcome, I believe it was the World, which is incredible. Yeah, it is. This is a very powerful reading, okay? This is an incredibly successful outcome. I do believe this is a love reading, all right? You don't have to be, and both my ears just went off. You do not have to be in a love situation right now in order for this to be a love reading, okay? But you can be. Now, let's talk about the issue. Now, I know what this is. I'm going to show you something interesting. It will explain why you, Aquarius, even though you are fixed air, it will explain why you are called the water bearer, all right? And it will explain why your card, one of your major arcana cards, is the Star, who pours a jug of water on the ground and into the water. I don't think we've ever discussed this before. I'm going to show you. By the way, we have the word tarot is in here, T-A-R-O. We also have Rota, R-O-T-A. Now, do you know that you're the only astrological sign who has a symbol in this card is Aquarius? That's your symbol right there, right above the R, okay? That's Mercury. That is salt, I believe. And I believe that's sulfur. Just give me one moment. I'm just going to make sure that I'm right about that. I think I am. But you know how I like you guys to have... I like you to be able to quote my readings with confidence if you need to, so just give me a moment. Yes. So let's go through this one more time. So what we're talking about here, really, what is represented by these 4 alchemical, well, actually, yeah, they are 4 alchemical symbols. It means dissolving or dissolution, which is this, I believe it's the second alchemical process. I know there are 7 processes. One moment while I make sure I'm right about that. So the 7 alchemical, or the 7 stages of alchemy, apparently are: number 1, calcination; number 2, dissolution or dissolving; 3, separation; 4, conjunction; 5, fermentation; 6, distillation; 7, fixation or coagulation. Now, the idea of dissolving or dissolution is one of the most important alchemical processes in healing, in purifying, in getting rid of poisons and things. So here is why you are called the water bearer. So that is your symbol right there, okay? And the other elements of salt, mercury, and sulfur combined with the water bearer means dissolution. But in this card, it is a sign of purifying, of relying on one's interior, subconscious spirituality. I'm going to get you a good quote for this actual meaning, this process. All right, here's a quote from one of the women that I respect the most in terms of Rider-Waite symbolism. I'm going to speak up because I'm leaning away from the screen here toward another computer. So she says, dissolution in alchemy involves water. The Aquarius symbol is also the symbol for water, though Aquarius is assigned to air, even though she is termed the water bearer. Water is another term that occultists use to refer to cosmic mind stuff that penetrates every inch of the universe. Dissolution sits between the bull, there's the bull, there's the bull, and the lion. Okay, just a moment now. There's you, Aquarius. I'm just going back to my screen here. Okay, here we go. A green lion is often a symbol of dissolution. Dissolution is interior work where the body is refined and purified. It is the second of the alchemical processes. So this is interesting. And I can't help but look at the fact that we've got the Queen of Cups there, which all involves total water. It's water on water. All queens are elementally water, by the way. So the Queen of Cups is water on water. And we've got the challenge being the Queen of Wands. And in the near future, it looks like you're realizing some kind of a truth, or there's some kind of a victory. This could have to do with healing, by the way. I mean, it could have to do with something here in the near future is being corrected, resolved. There's some kind of emptiness that you're either realizing a truth about, or you're getting rid of, cutting something out. There's a huge victory involved in the near future, and it has to do with either illness, or it could have to do with lack of money, or somebody being gone, disappearing. Anyway, we'll get to that in a moment, okay? But I think you can, I also believe we have another ace up here. I just want to check again what almost positive there was. Yeah, whoa. So we've got 2 aces in this reading. That's really incredible. Okay. I am going to get a card to clarify this, okay? And at the bottom of the deck, there's water there. Judgment. And this is all about, that is Archangel Gabriel, who is blowing the horn of spirituality, or the horn of God, the horn of the esoteric. And it's healing. It has incredible powers to raise somebody who's dead from a coffin. Can we clarify? Okay, so it just fell right there. I'm going to clarify this again. Because, bottom of the deck, we've got the star. But over here, I'm going to have to clarify the 6 of Pentacles again. I dislike that card. And it's so, it's actually, the 6 of Pentacles, no, it's Moon in Taurus. Clarify. 8 of Pentacles. Now there's another 8 that clarified the outcome. One more time, and then I'm going to see if I can figure out what this is. What is What is the Wheel of Fortune, please? Why is it an issue? There's a card that's loosey-goosey there. Okay, the Star. Can I see one more time? Okay, something just flew out. Six of Swords. All right, give me a moment. What I don't understand. So this could have to do. So I do believe the Six of Pentacles is very important. It's some kind of an imbalance or an inequity. All right? It's an imbalance or an inequity. It could be somebody who is cheating. I never see this as a good card. I know that other readers say, oh, somebody's going to give you money. No, that man, that person is, that is not an honest person, and there is an inequity here. There are clearly more pentacles going to this person in this card, this little boy. The little girl has one pentacle there, I believe. Now, so this could be about resolving an inequity, resolving an illness that is caused by an imbalance. The Eight of Pentacles is something that has been either done repetitively, someone who's very determined. They're doing something in a very repetitious manner, and they are totally focused on it. I note that that person, it looks like they could be casting. It doesn't look like that person in this deck is doing anything good, and they're totally focused. They're doing it at night. There's maybe. There's a candle there burning, and it looks like it's been burning for a very long time, and you know what that means. That can be candle magic. This could be a good, maybe you hired somebody to do a healing spell or something. I'm not sure. That is either good or bad. Over here, it is, I believe, this is incredible healing. This is a card of healing. This is the symbol inside the rota. This is dissolution. It's healing. It's hope. It's faith, positivity. It's incredible. Mostly it's about healing hope. And this card is about the mind becoming at peace, going from troubled water to very clear water, things getting easier. So this could easily be about, this is some kind of, what this represents is something that needs to be healed or resolved, or a repetitive pattern. Maybe a truth needs to be, something needs to change, because swords also represent massive change. We also have the World, which is an ending to a repetitive pattern, and Judgment, which is a final ending. So, and the Ace of Swords, which represents change. So I do believe this could be about healing, resolving an inequity in a relationship, finding out why, you were cheated out of something, getting a new job. I'll tell you what card we should rely on right now is what the reigning energy is, a wish coming true. It is the wish card. It's the Nine of Cups. It's something that you truly desire. And right across from it is we've got the World and the Ten of Cups and the Nine of Cups. These are incredible cards of happiness, fulfillment, and completion. Now, I do believe, I asked what is ending, what it is. I asked to clarify that. It may have to do with the depression or mental anxiety. It's some kind of, sorry if I'm shouting, it's some kind of a trap, or it's something that you weren't able to move forward on, or perhaps someone was restricted from coming towards you. It's the ending of restrictions and anxiety. I asked to further clarify, and I got the Ace of Cups. So, this is a blessing, huge blessings, healings. And I asked to further clarify, my God, this is just incredible. This is beautiful news. It could be romantic news. I did, at this point, I asked if it were romantic or, and what I got was the Ten of Cups. So for most of you, it's definitely good news. Emotional fulfillment, it's 100% yes on if it's romantic, but it may also have to do with a passionate project. Change, because we've got another card of change here. Pages and Swords represent change. good news coming in, a proposal. So I'm not counting out things other than romance, but it's heavily leaning in the turf of romance. I just saw 1515, by the way, so it also could be ridding oneself of an illness or toxicity or money, something like that. All right, so let's look at the subconscious energies. I think this one is going to be pretty easy. We have another 7 here. Now, I'm feeling right away, you know that this is a card of victory, okay? It's related in Kabbalistic Tarot and the Tree of Life, it's related to Sephira 7, which is Netzah, which is just the will and the will to overcome. When you decide, I want this, I will have this, or I will win, it is sheer, let me just give you an example. You might say, oh, is that enough? Well, absolutely, it can create miracles. For example, there are many documented miracles that have occurred because, for example, a woman 5'2", who weighs 105 pounds, I believe one of the stories that I was looking at was, so she was living in one of these tropical climates, and her child was taken by some, is it an alligator, or I can't remember, but it's the type of animal that can, that often can eat a baby or a child, and unfortunately these things have happened. Her, through sheer willpower, she leapt into the water and forced the jaws of the alligator open to save her child. And the odds were heavily against her. It should have been impossible given her physicality. So why was she able to do that? Because of the sheer will to win, to overcome. I'm going to get one more card to clarify, just to get a little more specificity on what this could be. Can we get a little more? It's card of Cancer. Need we say more? By the way, just look what bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups again, by the way. But look at this Strength card. Now, that card came up in the Collective Aquarius reading on the other channel, which on the Amabella's Intuition channel, which I recommend you watch because of what I just saw. Part of this, I do believe, does require, I can see why dissolution is there now, and the inner, what does my friend call it, interior work. What does that mean? Well, this woman is able to tame this ferocious lion because she doesn't use brute or physical force. She uses her loving energy, her subconscious. She actually has a telepathic ability to communicate with all animals. So the animal just instantly trusts her, and she has no fear. She is unconditional. She loves the animal. All right. So what it's related to is if this has to do with an illness or a love situation that you're trying to resolve, or a money situation, anything, I believe that it has a lot to do with mental fortitude, relying on unconditional love. Often what's required in this card is discipline and courage and belief in oneself, emotional maturity. That's that lemniscape or infinity sign over her head. It has to do with emotional intellect. What does that mean? Well, what it means is, let's just say, I often used to find, I don't go into banks anymore because, of course, everything's changed and everything's online now, but I always found that whenever I went into a bank, no matter what I was asking them to do, some tellers just don't want to do it. They just find every reason not to. So what I discovered with those kind of antagonistic people is that if I started out the phrase with, you know what I'm about to ask you to do, it's probably not possible. You probably can't do it, but because with these lower vibrational people, that got them, I learned that's what they respond to. what they responded to was, oh, yes, I can. So emotional maturity here is about giving up the need to, you don't care how you look. You don't care about being right because you know you're right inside. You don't care about proving to other people that you're right because you know you're in the right. God knows you're right. So when you truly feel that, you do not feel that you need other people to say that you're right. So, what is another example of this? Oh, yeah. So one of my cats, Little Devil, my sister was very generously paying for them to be spayed. And when I brought, Little Devil was the last to be done, and she was the youngest. Now, my sister had researched, I mean, she's very, very, very knowledgeable about animals, and she had researched, and also her daughter works in that profession. And there was just no question that Little Devil was old enough to be spayed. So my sister had gone back to where she lives several time zones away, so I didn't have her help that day because normally she would come with me to the vet. And so I was on my own. So I went to check in Little Devil, and there was a different person at the office. And she just started, she was just being very negative at the check-in. And finally she said, do you know how old Little Devil is? And so I gave her Little Devil's age. And she said, is she even old enough to be spayed? And what was funny was I was so nervous and about Little Devil having the operation. I just saw 2222, by the way. That I actually said, well, screw it. If they turn her away, good. I'll just pack her up and go home because didn't want to leave her there. So I just said, oh, you know what? I'm not sure. Maybe she isn't. And then all of a sudden, in fact, there was just silence. The woman just continued to check her in. And it wasn't a problem anymore. They probably wanted my sister's money. But anyway, I'm sorry if I'm wrong about that. But the organization was wonderful, but for that one, and that woman probably isn't even working there anymore. But anyway, all the other staff are just incredible. But that woman that I was dealing with was not emotionally, mature. So what do these cards mean together? A victory or getting what you want here may require you to literally just to hold your position, to be silent, to use your inner vision, your consciousness, praying, trusting, loving, and look at the power that it gives you. We've got a 7 and an 8 there. There's a lot of 7s, 8s, and 9s here. Okay? 10s too. Now, let's look at what happened in the recent past. This could be you having a realization, or it could be you being stuck, or you sacrificing something, or being caught in some kind of a hold up. I'm going to ask, what is the Hanged Man in the recent past? Oh, something just flew out. Queen of Pentacles. Now we've got 3 queens on the board. So it could be a Capricorn woman who is holding you back. You may have been, maybe your money was stuck, or clarify what was the Hanged Man. Or you may have had a realization. Okay, I'm going to take that one. Ooh, King of Wands. Clarify the Hanged Man again. Yeah, something needs to come to an ending. And by the way, on the bottom of the deck now, I have that nasty little coven there. So there could have been somebody dominating and manipulating. I actually feel that you are the Queen of Pentacles. So somebody could have, some dominating, manipulating energy could have been wanting to keep you stuck, to put you down, to end something for you. It could be a betrayal here. And this could also be not just what you realized and not just what happened to you, but what you did. And I think what you did is what Odin did when he hung from the Tree of Life. What did Odin do? Well, Odin was in an uncomfortable, suffering situation. where much sacrifice was involved. So you know what Odin did? He got very, very still. And he said to himself, look, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see, because I can't move and I'm stuck here. I'm going to find out what the spiritual lesson is. I'm going to find a way to get as comfortable as I can. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to ask God to bless me, to help me. I'm going to pray. I can't do anything but pray right now. You know what happens when you put that kind of, when you surrender to surrender to the divine? Ding! There is a harmony, a clicking. It's like a puzzle piece snapping into perfect place. What happens is that a massive amount of peace, serenity, and wisdom is found. That's at the point that the change occurs. Very often, you hear about these parents who are struggling to control their children's behavior, or parents who are, let's say that they're unhappy with their child because they're out of control, or what have you. Well, I often used to suggest, try this. I want you to assume that your child will never change, ever. Can we sit down right now, get out a pen and a piece of paper, and find the good in this? Can we find the good in this situation? Let's look at what we can be happy about. Could be a lot worse. The child could have some kind of a very serious medical condition where death is almost certain and there's a lot of suffering. That maybe your child, let's say the problem is just that they've been disruptive. Could be a lot worse. They could have they could have gotten drunk, driven your car and hit a 3-year-old and killed a 3-year-old. How much worse can it be? A lot worse. Let's be happy we're not in that situation. Now, let's look at the funny, cool things about the child. There is a way. What I did find was once the parent accepted the child the way that they were, the second that they did that, every single improvement that they were seeking from the beginning happened. I'm going to tell you one funny story, okay? About 7 years ago, one of my best female friends was potty training her young son. And oh boy, it just seemed impossible. And at the time, I was spending a lot of time with her just because she lived a lot closer to me at the time. And we tried everything. I even ordered one of these little cool, Amazon has a potty, by the way, that it's a fake, when you press it has a little fake flush on it, and there's this electronic noise that goes, and the idea was, okay, well, it would be fun, just to hear that noise. No, we tried everything, nothing worked. And then one day, my friend, let's just call her Leanne, we got into a big argument over something. In fact, it was over something that she was, some food. I was being very unreasonable. It was over something that he was eating that I thought was causing a problem with his behavior. Anyway, we got into a huge argument, and I was so hurt. We didn't speak for 7 days. And one day, and I was worried about the little boy. I was missing him, And after 7 days, I was just coming out of a meeting when my former job, and my cell phone went off. And it was Leanne. And she just uttered 2 words. He, P-O-O-P-E-D, in the potty, or it was more than 2 words. And I was in the middle of this very crowded lobby. And I think I might have said, we got, I won't say, I'm probably going to get dinged. But why did that happen? I think what happened was the little boy was so concerned about the fact that his mom and her friend were having trouble. He thought that, maybe I will just bloody use the body and see. I think he figured out a way. So it's interesting. Anyway, he was emotionally intellectual. All right, let's see. I'm dying to see what this bloody challenge is here. So the challenge is the Queen of Wands. Now, look, this could be just that you need to become more like the Queen of Wands, or this person could be a karma, it could be somebody that's causing a problem. I note that there is a King of Wands in the recent past that's associated with being stuck and a betrayal. So, and I'm picking up, and look at this guy. This is, look at how he's sitting. There is something else very noticeable. I want you to notice his two knees. I'm going to get dinged by YouTube if I say anything. See, I think you're going to know what I'm talking about here. So there's his throne. There's the King of Wands, and he's known as being very physically passionate. You can see where his legs are. Do you have any idea what that is between his legs? You get the idea. So it's a dominating, manipulating energy. So now, I mean, maybe this is, let's clarify. How is the Queen of Wands a challenge? Why do I feel like I'm going to get in trouble for this video? I've mentioned P-O-O-P, S-E-X, in fact, much worse than that. Why is the Queen of Wands a challenge? Oh, wow. Okay. So bottom of the deck, I've got the Two of Wands, and I've got the Hierophant energy. I'm going to clarify the Hierophant energy because I usually, this could have something to do with inner vision. I mean, geez, even, guys, I almost never get a positive energy from that Hierophant. Almost never. But I could be right now. I'm going to clarify further. The Hierophant is related to that bowl, by the way. There's the, hang on, where's the bowl? It's right there. Taurus. We're going to clarify the Hierophant, okay? Why did we just have the Hierophant come up? So we had the Two of Wands and the Hierophant. Actually, the Two of Wands was just at the bottom of the deck. Let's ask one more time to clarify. Why is the Queen of Wands a challenge? What is the challenge, please? Did something just come out? Yeah, something did. Judgment. And we have Judgment on the bottom of the deck as well. In this deck, it's called Karma. I'm going to ask a more specific question. What is the Queen of Wands doing? What is the Queen of Wands doing? Married for money? What is the Queen of Wands doing, please? Walking away. Is the Queen of Wands a negative or positive energy here? How are we to interpret? No, it's a negative energy, Five of Cups. Okay. The Queen of Wands could be somebody. The Queen of Wands is definitely somebody in the way. It could be somebody who's married to someone that you're meant to be with. This could be a divorce. That a Hierophant could be a marriage. I do believe that's what this is. The only other thing this could be, if the Hierophant were the stifling energy, if the Hierophant were the stifling energy, if the Hierophant were the stifling energy, if the Hierophant were the stifling energy. Okay. So there's the Hangman again, and that was in the recent past. Walk away from the recent past. So the Queen of Wands could be action that you need to take in that case. Yes, so the Hierophant in general could be something that's keeping you stuck in the Hanged Man It could be an abuse of power. It could be a job that you have, or marriage that you're in. It's stifling you. It's closed-minded. There's no creativity and no spirituality. The Queen of Wands, it just overall, as advice and as what even the upright, if you look at the upright and compare it to the lower energy of the Queen of Wands, no matter how you look at it, it's all about having courage and determination and being creative and independent and going for what you desire and putting it all together. She even has a little cat. She's also very psychic. And intuitive. She has a little cat. And the fact that she's holding that giant sunflower, you realize that those are they say they're very difficult. It's a challenge to get them to grow. So, it could be you needing to become more self-confident or needing to rely on these energies, and needing to be doing something or in a place where your creativity is not stifled. A lot of passion here and desire, a lot of wands and a lot of cups. Now, in the very near future, what the first card that came up was the Five of Pentacles. But it was clarified by the Ace of Swords, which is very good, which means that this is a good, either you're going to hit the road split, either you're going to get rid of someone, or you're having surgery to cut something out. Something is either missing, perhaps you're going to find out the truth about theft, or the truth about being fired, or the truth about a lack of money, or you're quitting a job, or getting fired is actually a victory there. We are going to clarify here. Can we clarify the Five of Pentacles in the near future? How is this a victory? How is this a victory? Four of Swords. Oh, this could very well be related. At the bottom of the deck now we have the Six of Cups. Because the Four of Swords, that is a really good card. It is Jupiter in Libra. It is expansion of the mind and spirituality, and it's done in downtime. So it's interesting because the Five of Pentacles is, somebody's missing, somebody's not there, but they're actually there in the Four of Swords. They are mentally, so perhaps you're going to have a 4-week break, or for 4 weeks, or somebody ghosted you and you didn't know why. There's going to be a victory. There's a change. So either money is coming in, either somebody's going to contact you again that you haven't heard from in a long time. You're going to, through some rest, you're going to be healing, or through meditation. Maybe you're going to, maybe you're doing some kind of meditative process for manifesting. It's going to produce a victory. Maybe you're calling in a soulmate. What's happening in the near future is that what you're going to, a victory or a massive change in something that was lacking. Okay, and how did you get there? Through mental expansion or meditation or healing of some sort. Now I know why the Hermit is a tool. Now I know why this is the tool. And now I know why. I know exactly what we've got here in this row coming up. I'm just going to plug in the power cord there because we're running low on power. The tool to this outcome, this beautiful World and Ten of Cups outcome and Ace of Cups, and getting out of the trap, is a spiritual quest, relying on inner vision. Remember that staff was originally the Fool's Rod. It has now become the Hermit's staff. Relying on inner vision, expanding spiritually, expanding. Same thing that you're doing here, Jupiter in Libra, expanding the mind. In fact, let's just go to the Lantern for a moment. That you're in the Fool card, in your card, your Sack-a-Pack becomes the Lantern according to Waite's terminology. This is, shining light, on what used to be dark, wisdom, a gaining of wisdom. So you may be going within. You are not caring about material things at all. You're looking for spiritual enlightenment. So this very well could be that Odin process. And so, what you could be doing here is you could sort of be if you're having problems with money or love or something, you may actually be just saying, okay, fine, I give up. I'm going to accept the way that this is, and I'm going to go in and do some inner work. Well, as soon as you do that, guess what happens? In comes your person, right? So, in fact, I do often say that to people. Now, let's look at the outside influences, because I believe that this was the negative energy here. I mean, it's actually a good energy. The Three of Pentacles. To be honest, normally I don't get a good feeling from this card. Why? Because these people are relying on the opinion of a human being. Okay, and they've got a plan. They want to build something. Now, look, upright, it's supposed to be the seal of great work done together. Why do they call it that? Well, only because it represents Mars in Capricorn. And in fact, there's an exaltation there because, in other words, there's a good blend. A good blend in a tarot card, that means that, for example, if you have a fire sign and say a Capricorn coming together, it works. Why? Because the Capricorn organizes and utilizes the fire sign's energy and vitality. So, but that's when it works, if these two people are, intelligent emotionally. Let me give you an example of one of your cards actually, Venus in Aquarius, the Five of Swords. It's not a good mix, believe it or not, Aquarius with Venus. Why? Because Aquarius is often stifled by too much ooey-gooiness, stifled by love. I know a lot of you are saying, no, I want love. But the minute I notice in your readings, if something comes up, that something is coming in, I can almost feel you resisting. Oh, wait a minute. Do I really want that? In other words, Aquarius has an incredible, Aquarius requires space and freedom to be happy. So in love, there is a possibility of people smothering you. So Venus in Aquarius there's no exaltation there. It's to its detriment. Let's clarify what these outside influences are. This could be a negative thing because this could be somebody that. Anyway, what is the Three of Pentacles as an outside influence, please? What is the Three of Pentacles as an outside influence, please? What is this? What is this? There it is right there. Yeah, Five of Pentacles has something to do, and there's the moon on the bottom of the deck. So, I do believe here, I just had this weird image of something just then. I just started picturing this as being a specialist saying, oh, there's no way that so-and-so can live, giving an opinion on, somebody's very ill, somebody's on their deathbed. And then I got the image of somebody saying, okay, fine, I have 4 months left to live, I'm going to write a book. And as soon as they do that, they discover that the tumor is gone 2 weeks later and no one can explain it. I'm going to tell you a true story now. That actually happened in my family. My mother, now this was I think it was 86. No, was it 96? Anyway, she was diagnosed. Now, she's passed away now, but she did not die of cancer. She had cancer. What year was it? It was in the 90s. She was told that, what was it? What do they call it when people recover, but I got to look the word up. Just a moment. Remission should not be in your vocabulary. That's what the specialist told her. So, you know what she did? She said to herself, okay, how long do I have to live? And I think it was 6 months or something that they told her. And so she started writing a book. And guess what happened? Exactly what I just said. So I think she lived it was the end of the 1990s that she recovered, and she only passed away about 3 years ago, and was something else. It was related to her heart, or a blood clot or something. We still don't quite know what it was, but it had nothing. She was totally cancer free at that time. So what the doctors could never explain it. They couldn't explain it. this could be that an outside influence. It doesn't have to be an illness. It could be having to do with your money or your love life, that somebody was relying on somebody else's opinion. Okay? And somebody cared too much about somebody else's opinion. They may have cared too much about finances. Remember that here in your tools, this person does not care anymore about anything material. They have more important things to do and to think about. Hopes and fears is the Queen of Cups. Now, I can see how that can be both a hope and both a fear. Perhaps somebody fears making decisions based on unconditional love. Perhaps somebody fears investing their heart. Perhaps what somebody wants is to be in love. Perhaps somebody is fearing falling in love too quickly. But look, the outcome, Aquarius, is the world. And so what is the world? So if any of you are asking, could this relate to such and such? Yes, it could. And that's why I think the world is here. No matter what you asked, this is a giant success. It is an ending of an illness, an ending of one cycle and a successful graduation and beginning of a new one. It is a card of absolute perfection. Okay? When I asked to clarify, I asked, what is ending here? What is ending? Are restrictions, mental anxiety? I asked to clarify again, what does that mean? I got the Ace of Cups. Blessings coming in, healing, unconditional love, a child maybe. I asked to clarify again just to be sure. More good news, a proposal, a love proposal, good news. I asked to clarify again. And I believe I was asking, could this relate to work? Yes, it could. A passionate new project, a child. I asked to clarify one more time. I got the Ten of Cups. You cannot deny this ending. It is total, utter emotional fulfillment and success. Aquarius, thanks for your patience and thank you for listening. Let me know if it resonated.